So guys, it's Jeanette. I'm going to be doing my kind of B.A.P review right now of their concert. I just got back to my hotel room after the concert. I guess I'll start off by like my experience getting to Georgia. I tried to vlog a lot of it, but I know I probably could have vlogged more. But in general, I was like really nervous about driving in the rain, but it honestly didn't rain too much on my drive up. It really wasn't that bad. And by the time I got up here, it really wasn't raining. So it was a relatively nice drive, I will say that. It's a relatively nice drive besides it being really long. I was kind of nervous, but I was able to successfully do it, so I was really proud of myself. I bought a bunch of glow sticks and I bought a whistle and all the stuff that I actually didn't even end up using. I did, obviously, I'm still wearing the glow sticks I got on my wrist, but then I bought these like kind of like party ones instead. And it was a pack of two, and it was only like $2, so it wasn't like a big deal. I actually lost one of the ones in the middle. I was shaking, I couldn't find it. But anyway, so like this was my, I was mostly going like this, but this was my light stick. So that was fun. I mean, I bought, and I brought it with me, I bought a really long one, but it actually, where is it? It actually has like a piece that goes with it, like this. And it's a little axe. I don't know why. I was like looking at this in the store. I was like, why is there an axe? Like there's like no other like weapons, just an axe. So I found that weird. But then I was like, you know what? If they do warrior, whoa, yeah. So I had this ready, but they never did warrior. Which is really disappointing. That's like fave song of mine. Anyway, so yeah, but so I didn't even use this, and then I think this was on the ground next to mine. I'm like, I don't even think this is mine. And so I think somebody maybe dropped there, so I have an extra glow stick. But yeah, so in general, like, I mean, I guess I mostly use my glow sticks, but I didn't use the whistle at all because, I mean, a couple people were using it for Fancams, but I was like, I realized I didn't even know the Fancams, so I was like, why did I even buy a whistle? But now I have one for like future B.A.P events, which, yeah. So I didn't get to the hotel until like 4. Actually like 4:30, closer to 5, and then I was really set on going to get alcohol to pregame, so I had to find a liquor store. Actually, speaking of that, I'm drinking right now. It's actually really good. It's like a plum sake and it tastes like straight up wine. But I had a very interesting encounter at the liquor store. This guy in front of me in line was like, sorry, I keep staring at you, and I was just like, oh no, it's okay, like I didn't even notice he was staring at you. He's like, but you look like my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, okay, I mean, whatever. And then he goes, yeah, except her tits are bigger. And I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't really react. I was just kind of like, like what? What do you say in that situation? Like, what do you actually say to somebody, like, legitimately? So I was just kind of like, So luckily he left really quickly after that. Or soon after that, I should say. I mean, I know like people in the South are like really nice, like, and I'm not really used to that. I'm technically Northern, even though my home state of Maryland is in the South. Maryland's technically South, but I'm pretty much have a Northern attitude towards other people. So it's weird sometimes being in the South and they're like just like so nice, and you're just like, no, can you not? So anyway, I was able to get back by 5:30. Like I thought I was gonna take forever, and I was gonna get like back in time to like really start getting ready in a good amount of time. But I got back by like 5:30 after going to like a store, started getting ready. Really wasn't ready to go. I don't know if you could tell. I took a lot of effort into my. And that B.A.P just started a V-Live. I should check that out because it's probably like something to do with what they're doing right now in Atlanta. Anyway, it took me a while to get ready, and I really wasn't ready until like 7, and then I had to like get all this stuff together, like the light sticks and my whistle and blah blah blah. So by the time I left, it was like 7:15, and basically like where the hotel is, like you pretty much have to like make a U-turn to go anywhere. So I was supposed to like U-turn and then get on the highway to get to the venue, and the venue is literally 3 minutes from here, not even 5 minutes. So it's like not a big deal that I was like leaving at 7:15. It was just like I wanted to get there early enough that, you know, I definitely wouldn't miss any second of the show. But as I was leaving, like as I was like on the road and I was like U-turning, I realized I didn't have my ticket. I was like, wait, where did I put my ticket? I could have sworn I had it like in my hand with like my light sticks and my wallet, but I was like looking at my seat where my light sticks and stuff were, and I didn't see the ticket. I was like, what the fuck? So as I was waiting for the light, I realized I didn't have it. It was like nowhere in the car, and I was like, fuck. So I actually had to like turn around again, and it was actually made like a really illegal U-turn to do it, but I had to turn around again to come back to the hotel, and I ran to the hotel because I was nervous that I had it in my hand and I dropped it, but I was like, I don't remember doing that. So I ran to the hotel. I'm like, please tell me it's still here. And I was sitting on my bed just waiting for me. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. So then I ran back down and, you know, was leaving later, but I still got to the venue in 5 minutes. And I was ready to like sit down and be like super like talking to the person next to me. But instead I like clammed up for some reason. I don't know why. She looked really nice. I just for some reason clammed up, and so I didn't say anything to her the whole time before the concert started. But then of course they started playing the intro music, and we like freaked out a bit. And she like turned to me and she was like, "Oh my god, it's starting!" And I was like, "Oh my god, it is!" And so then we kind of started talking. And we started talking about our biases and stuff. She was like a Jung-up Zelo bias, and I'm, you know, mostly Jung-up bias. I'm thinking honestly, Googie's kind of like my second bias. He's either like my second bias or my bias wrecker. He's like, oh my god, I love Bang Gook. Like this concert like confirmed it like so much. Like, oh my god, he's so good. But anyway. So, you know, we started talking a little bit because they kind of like started playing like music and an intro to the concert at like 7:50, and then the concert didn't start till 8, so it was kind of weird. But it's not like with like the BTS concert, they were playing MVs and everyone was going hype and blah blah, and it just like kind of flowed really nicely. It was like they kept like, with B.A.P they kept like playing this like little clip it, and then they would stop, and then they'd play another, like, it wasn't like a video, it was just like they'd flash B.A.P on the screen, and then they played it like a song, or like a beat, and then it would stop and then it would go quiet again. And so then they kept doing that. I don't know if they were testing it or what, but it was just weird. But then eventually the opening act, which was the DJ, came out, and he was great. He like hyped us up really well. I was like sweating because he really got us going. And like I had an aisle seat, like I was like right on the aisle, so like I was kind of dancing into the aisle because, like, you know, there's no one around. And then this lady came up and was like, "You can't block the aisle." And I was like, I was like, okay, sorry. So I had to like stay in the seat, which is only like a problem when like you want to start like jumping when you're like dancing, because then like I have to like be careful of the seat from me, especially after what happened to me at the BTS concert where I banged my knee and I have this giant bruise now. Like, so I was being like really cautious about that. But in general, yeah, the DJ got us so hyped up, and then like B.A.P came on like right after. Like he had a countdown. B.A.P came on. And basically they started the show off with like kind of EDM mixes of like some of their songs, like Hurricane and Badman and No Mercy, I think. And there might be one or two songs I didn't know, but like it was basically like a big mix EDM. And I honestly was like going so hard and like sweating. Like I was like, oh my god, are we gonna need a break? Because they did like 5 or 6 songs in a row without like breaking or saying anything at all. They just kept going, and I was just like, oh my god, is this how the whole concert is gonna be? So like I was so pumped up. And then of course, like before the concert had started, I talked to the girl next to me a little bit, and like she was telling me, you know, she went to the Live on Earth tour last year, and it was amazing. She told me how like the members were like walking around the auditorium or stadium or arena, whatever you want to call it, theater, and like they would come up and down the aisle. She's like, you have a good seat to ride on the aisle, so if they do that, you know, you'll be like right there. And I was like, oh my god, yes. So I was like really looking forward to that. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. So anyway, that was a bit of a disappointment, but I'll come back to that. So yeah, I was getting like so hyped up and so pumped in that first like, I don't even know, first half hour. I don't know how long that went on, but I was just sweating and just so pumped. And then finally they started saying their ments, and they were really cute, and like you could tell they were reading the English off of like a little thing on the stage, which was really adorable, especially because Dan's so funny. He kept like messing it up, not like embarrassingly, like he'd be like reading it and then he'd be like, wait, what? and you're just like, what? So he was just being really cute. Daehyun's adorable. But anyway, so after their first ments, which I don't remember what they were saying, but they were cute. That's all I remember. They were cute. After their first ments, they did this little like party bar thing, and that was for them to pick like the person they wanted to pick for the dress code. So they had like a bar set up, which was really cute. And then they had a translator come out, and it was literally like a 12-year-old boy. This 12-year-old boy came out to be their translator. I mean, he was really cute, but it was like really weird, especially because he seemed really awkward, and like, so like he would the members would say something, and then the little kid would kind of be like, okay, he wants to say, so he kind of stuttered a bit, like me. He kind of stuttered a bit, but he did pretty good translations. I feel like they were very rough translations because he had to like translate quickly. So a lot of times they would say something, and you know, I recognized a lot of Korean words these days. So like I could tell there was more to what they said. So like they would say something about being happy as well as something else, and he'd be like, the translator kid would just be like, yeah, he says he's happy. be here. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he said something else, but fine, yeah, that's fine. But anyway, so they did the bar thing so they could pick a person in the audience that, you know, fit the style. They only did one person, and like only one member picked, and it was Young Jae. And so Young Jae's style was like house party. He like asked people to like raise their hand if they dressed for house party, and I didn't, because I was like, I feel like I'm honestly more, my style was kind of more towards cookies and like uppies, so I was like, maybe if they do one too, I'll raise my hand for that. So I didn't want to just like raise my hand randomly. I kind of wish I had, because Young Jae was the only one that picked. And then Young Jae ended up picking this kid, this like guy from like up in the second row, or the second like tier. And honestly, like the guy was wearing like a white tank top and ripped jeans, and that was, and Young Jae, I think Young Jae said he picked him because he looked like him, like he that was something Young Jae would wear. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I felt really happy for the guy. I think he might have been gay, which, you know, whatever. But like, I say like, so I think he actually really enjoyed the fact that he got picked, you know, and like got to meet the members and stuff. But like, it was just kind of frustrating. I was like, I want to be picked. I did really want to be picked. I feel like at first, like I didn't really care that much. I was just like dressing up to dress up. And after seeing like him get picked for an outfit that I was like, looked like he put barely any effort into it, I was kind of like, I want to get picked. I want to get picked. So I will say, I wish they had either done more than one member for that, or like, because it was kind of hectic, because also during this, like when Young Jae was kind of trying to decide who he wanted to pick, he kept like I think he just kept randomly playing people without realizing it, and this one girl just like walked on stage and like nobody knew what to do because of like the language barrier. So the little translator kid had to like actually like get up. He was on the other side of the stage. He had to like get up and like walk over to this girl and be like, look, I'm sorry, but we actually picked this other guy, so you need to leave. And I think they ended up giving her like a drink or something. I don't know, but because like they had like a whole bar with drinks. It was just like really awkward, because she like, I didn't even see her walk up there. Like all of a sudden they were just like, we didn't pick you, we picked someone else. And I was like, who is she? Where did she come from? Did she just walk on stage? So I don't know, it was just kind of unorganized and weird. So I think they should have done 2 members, and then I think they need to like kind of be better. I don't know if that translator kid is going to be like their translator for the tour, but he needs to be a little more confident if he is, and a little more like assertive. I mean, I feel bad, he's like literally a child, but you know, if you're translating in this situation for like a bunch of people, you should kind of be like prepared. I don't know, it's probably best to get like a translator that can like roll with punches, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's kind of like an MC and can like handle like a unforeseen situation. But he's a child, so I don't know if it's like the manager's child that lives in the States or something, or like their cousin, but it was just weird. So yeah, the guy got to come on stage and like meet B.A.P and like take a picture with them and like record a video with them, and then he got like the memory card from the camera of the video, which I was like, this is a weird present. I was kind of like, oh, okay. At first I thought they were giving him the camera, because they kept being like, I'm giving you this, and they were like holding the camera, and I was just like, what? Are you giving him this camera? But then they just took out the memory card. They're like, this is yours. And this was like, okay. But it was still cute. Like they really tried, and I really appreciated that. Like that seems like something like a lot of K-pop groups would be like, oh, look, we'll save that kind of thing for like just our Korean fans, because we can communicate with them. But the fact that B.A.P tried to interact with us in that way, I really liked. So like I said, it could have been better, but maybe they just haven't really figured out the kinks yet. It's the first US stop, so they weren't sure exactly how to do it. So now hopefully at their further other US stops they'll do a better job. But anyway, then I think there was the solo stages, which were amazing. Yeah, because like at some point during that whole bar scene, Jung-up left the stage, and like at first I thought they were saying he was gonna go pick someone. Like I thought they were like, oh, he's gonna go pick someone for his thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll volunteer. I volunteer, stupid. But no, he just left the stage. And then at the end of like the segment, they were like, I think they were trying to get us to be like, where's Jung-up? Where's Jung-up? Bring out Jung-up! Ah! But like Himchum just kept being like, where's Jung-up? Where's Jung-up? Like he actually seemed confused, and I was like, I don't know, where is he? And he was like, second floor, and we're like, what? Is he on the second floor? Like, so it was language barriers. It was so much like more of an issue here, but I think it's because like with the B.A.P concert, like the point was to interact with the fans, so like they were trying to like get responses from us when like we couldn't understand what they were saying sometimes. Whereas like BTS concert, it really wasn't about fan interaction as much. It's just kind of a performance. So solo stages. So Uppy went first and slayed, literally slayed. And then Zelo came out. First of all, Uppy also, I will mention, Uppy rapped during his performance and I was just not okay. I was just not okay. I'm like, well, this is why he's my bias. This is literally why he's my bias. And he was looking so good in his white t-shirt and ripped jeans, and I was just like, oh my god, you were so fine. I mean, he looked small, because I know he's smaller than me, but he didn't look that small. And I was like, I think I could handle you. I could right hand you, China. I could right hand you. Anyway. So then Zelo, I think, went next. So I was like, after doing ups, because of course he slayed and like hip thrusted and grinded and like body rolled the mess out of that stage. So I was expecting some similar shit from Zelo, especially after seeing his solo stage from Live on Earth. But instead, Zelo went the complete opposite direction. Gave us this beautiful song in English that he sang, and I was like, Zelo, first of all, you can sing? Like, I think I did know that. Like, I think I talked about that or seen videos of him singing before, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe Zelo can sing. But he sang, and he sang the whole song in English, by the way. I got a short clip of it, but like, boy sang that song, and I was just so proud of him, and I was just like, oh my god. Oh my god. And then I think, I'm pretty sure then Youngjae and Daehyun went. Youngjae, of course, was super extra and just, you know, just oozing sex appeal. I don't know what it is about that child that he just, it just like evaporates from his body and just like infects everyone around him. He's just, Youngjae is just literally the sexiest thing. I was like screaming at him when he came on the stage. I'm like, Youngjae, you better not. And this girl next to me, she was like, I know, right? And I was like, can he not? Not the girl I was friends with, but like this girl on the other side. She was like, oh my god, I know, right? I'm like, yes. But anyway, so he of course slayed. But then Daehyun came out. Daehyun had a solo featuring Zelo. Like, Zelo came out in the middle to rap, and I was like, literally, if Zelo comes out here to dance, I'm gonna die. But he just rapped and left the stage, like kind of like Cookie did in Uppy solo for photo. So it was cute, but like Daehyun's song was actually like really good. I loved it. Like, I mean, obviously I loved all the songs, but like it was like a catchy, upbeat kind of song for Daehyun, which I didn't really expect. So like it was just, oh my god, I just loved it. I was just like really impressed. And then he did a dance, and I was just on Daehyun. Oh my god. So honestly, I seriously think Daehyun's my bias wrecker, but it's hard because I'm also like, I'm pretty sure Cookie's my bias. I mean, obviously you can have more of a bias wrecker, but I'm saying like Cookie's such a bias wrecker right now. So I don't know. I think like in general, I think just Uppy and Cookie are my biases, and then there's Daehyun, who's my bias wrecker, and Zelo, and Himchun, and Youngjae. But you know me. Those were the only solo stages, so Himchun and Cookie didn't do one. I mean, I think both of the reasons they didn't is because of their health problems they've been having. Like Himchun had a pretty serious health problem with his, you know, ribs, and Cookie's, you know, mental health probably isn't like 100%. You know, he's well enough to perform with them and go on tour, but you know, he just, you know, he might just not be up for like having his own solo stage or performance or anything yet, which is 100% fine. I'm just happy to see him and be able to like hear his voice, which it was like a cavern. It was so deep. So yeah, so after the solo stages, they performed Fermata. And honestly, I lost my shit. I lost my shit during Fermata. I was, oh my god, I was singing along. I was just like going nuts for Fermata. That song, ooh, that song. Oh, Fermata. Oh, Fermata. Ooh, Fermata. Ooh, Fermata. Fermata, Fermata. So I was just slayed by the vocal line. But then from there, they went to I Guess I Need You, which the girl next to me called. She's like, I bet you're about to do I Guess I Need You. And I was like, oh, they better not. And they did. And then these bitch asses had the nerve to do Body and Soul after that. I was like, boys, you? Because I Guess I Need You was just... They didn't perform it with the Mysians, but I feel like it's because it's like the full song. So yeah, I Guess I Need You was just... Like, I was already on a high from Fermata, then I Guess I Need You, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't, I'm gonna fall down, I'm gonna die. Like, I literally, like, fell for a second, I was like, oh Lord Jesus help me. And they killed it and they slayed it and that was just done. And then they had to do an interview Body and Soul and I was just like, what is my life right now? What is my life? But they didn't do the Body and Soul that they did last year. Like they didn't do the same moves. They did do one move that I was like, oh, I don't know if I was recording during that. I might have. I don't remember. Because I think I was recording during Body and Soul for a little bit. But they did this move that I was like, I had my phone in my hand and I just like, I almost dropped it. So if that was during Body and Soul, you guys might get to see the moment I just like fucking almost dropped this phone off. But like I was anticipating some sort of like extra shit for Body and Soul and they didn't do that. So that was kind of like one thing that was also pretty disappointing. And I was like, I feel like for a lot of their choreo, they could have gone an extra mile or like gone an extra like step to like make it more. And they didn't really for this tour. So that was kind of disappointing for me because I wanted to see that extra side of B.A.P because, you know, I'd seen it in like cameras, fan cams and stuff, and now I had the chance to see it live, but they didn't really do a lot of it live. I mean, trust me, they were doing some extra shit, especially B.A.P and Zelo, but like, I don't think as much as I wanted. I don't really remember what happened after Body and Soul. I think they might have done another ment, like another comment. The next thing I can clearly remember happening is there was like a short VCR. It was just kind of like images, and then they came out and did Skydive, which was amazing, and I was so excited and I was hyped as fuck, and I was just like, oh my god. I looked at my watch right after Skydive ended, and I was like, oh, it's 9:30. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to go to 10:30, so we still got plenty of time. Still got like an hour left of the show, so pretty excited. And then they like did a ment, and they were like, oh yeah, so this is the last song. And I was like, what? They're already on the last song? Even though, you know, I knew there was still an encore, but I didn't think it was going to be that long. So they did Wake Me Up, and I was like, okay. You know, obviously I love Wake Me Up, so I was hyped as fuck, and I like sang along. Sorry, I'm playing with these. And I like sang along, and I was going hard. And then, of course, we did, you know, the chants and screams for Encore, and they came out. They came out really cutely. Like, usually, like, or I shouldn't say usually, but like, I'm used to, like, with BTS, they come out, like, as a group, and they just start performing a song. Like, that's how they come out for their encore. But this time, like, they came out kind of one at a time, because I think they dressed in their, like, party theme. So, like, Daehyun came out. Daehyun was Rose, right? Yeah. But Daehyun came out, and he was, like, wearing, like, this cute little jacket. I think I have Rose on it. But, he was also wearing... he was wearing these, like, Mickey Mouse ears. He looked so cute. And he was, like, out there, and, like, none of the other members were coming. Like, he was out there for, like, a good, like, 5 minutes before any of the other members got out there. And so he, like, didn't know what to do. He was just, like... Because I think they were playing a song. I didn't know the song, but I feel like most other babies probably should have. I didn't know the song because I'm a new baby. But he's like, you guys remember this? And like everyone just kind of was like, what? And he was like, you don't remember? And he started doing like some like move, like some dance move, and we were just kind of like, I was kind of, I don't know about any of us, but I was just kind of but so he was just like, he felt, and no one else really responded, even if I feel like even if they knew what he was talking about, no one else really like responded to him. So probably because they were like waiting for the rest of the members to come out and see what was about to happen. Like I was just watching Daehyun be like weird, and he was just kind of like, okay. And he didn't know what to say, and he was just like, okay, everyone do this. Like, you know, he started like, you know, waving his hand, and then literally everyone did it, and he like started busting out laughing. He's like, what? And I was like, you're surprised we did it? Like, we'll do anything for you, Daehyun. We'll do whatever you ask us. Like, tell us to go jump off a bridge, we'll go do it. So it was kind of funny. But as soon as we started doing that, all the other members started coming out, and they, like I said, they're all kind of dressed in their different themes. I think. I don't know if that's for sure what they're doing, or if they're just dressed in casual clothes or not. I think maybe they were just dressed in casual clothes. The N.J. shirt was interesting. Zelo also came out wearing like a little like pink bow. It was so cute. But yeah, so then they came out, and then they did this song. I don't remember the song. I don't think I recorded any of it either. But they did a song, and there's like a dance to it. It was like two. It was cute. So they taught us to dance, and then so we all did it together, and it was fun, and we did it during the song, and it was fun. So I thought it was really cute. And then I think maybe that's when they did Feel So Good, during the encore. And maybe another song. and then they did their final ments, which they did straight up in Korean. And so they had the translator translate. He was just backstage just instead of coming on the stage this time, so like they would say it and then the translator would translate. Still this child, which it was like really awkward because again, like I could tell he wasn't fully translating. He would, you know, they'd be like, they'd say something about missing us and something else. He'd be like, oh, I missed you. I don't know, I just felt bad for that kid. Like, I just felt like he, like, it almost felt like they last minute needed a translator and they just found this kid who could speak Korean on the streets. They're like, we need your help. It's an emergency. We need your help. But anyway, so they each said a ment in, like, relatively long ones. Like, they spent, like, especially because they had to be translated in between, it was, like, at least, like, 5 minutes each for the members. But most of them were, like, most of them talked about how like they weren't in good condition because they didn't get a lot of sleep since the time difference from Korea is pretty big, which it is. They were like worried because, you know, it was pouring rain here, so they thought a lot of people wouldn't want to come to the concert, but a lot of us did. And in general, they were like happy to see us, they missed us, they loved us, you know, the kind of general things you hear and say. And it was great and I loved it, but honestly, like, Gookie went last, and I feel like everybody like realized once they realized he was going last, like everyone was like, you know what we have to do, right? You guys know, everyone knows, you know the plan. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like nobody really said anything about it, but as soon as like Gookie went to do his ment, we all screamed. We were like, Bang Young! Like we all just gave him as much love as possible because you know, like we all as babies, like we have to show him our love and our support and just. So like he couldn't even talk. Like it was like we were screaming for like a good like 2 minutes. Like he could not talk. And like the other members were like, guys, they were trying to be like, guys, shh, like guys, stop yelling. We were just screaming for him. So I hope he understood that like we just love him and like we want to say we support him and everything. But then like yeah, so like for his bit, I feel like the translator struggled because I didn't, even with the translation, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say. I mean, it just sound like he said he missed us. He got some energy from us and some strength from us, and he's really happy to be here, and he can't wait to come back. Which is, you know, nice, but I think he was saying some more meaningful stuff than that. But anyway, so that was the last ment, and then they performed. The last one they performed was not with you. I think it was Baby, which is another kind of fan song, right? And I remember listening to him on my card right up here, so I was like, I was familiar with it, but I really wanted to listen to With You, or sing With You, and they didn't do it. There was honestly a lot of songs they didn't perform that I was really like kind of upset about, so. But anyway, so that was in general the concert, and then like after the concert, like I like with the BTS concert, I just sat down for like a good 20 minutes because I knew like I just had to catch the bus or whatever to get back to my sister's. And so I wasn't like in a rush to get out of there. I was just like, oh, I just need to enjoy this. So I kind of sat down and did the same thing for the B.A.P concert, but then they started talking and they're like, oh, we're going to do the high touch. So if you have a high touch, you can stay in the venue. And then if you bought the merch package, you also get this and this. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to be here for this. So I like got up and left. I was like just kind of bitter. I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to be here for this. So I got up and left. So that was pretty much the concert. It was great, but there were like a lot of things that like not bothered me. Ugh, I can never think of the right words that I want to say. But there were a lot of things that I kind of want to say disappointed me, but like I don't know. It was just because the concert experience in general was different. I was honestly disappointed in the number of fans that were there. I think a lot of people. I heard some people maybe talking about some people didn't come because of the weather because it was so shitty. But it honestly wasn't that bad, especially at the beginning of the concert. Like it was pouring rain and like disgusting and lightning after the concert, but like before the concert started, it wasn't raining that much. I mean, it was a shitty day, but it wasn't raining that much. And it's not like it was an outdoor venue, so I was just kind of like, well, that's a terrible excuse if that's why you didn't come. But yeah, like the concert, like the venue itself, like most of like the front rows and like the orchestra section that I was sitting in was pretty much filled, but like the like second tier was like empty, and like the third tier looked pretty much empty. And like honestly, like I've been to a concert before where like it was kind of like that, where like, you know, there was like a huge stadium, but there was like the seats were barely filled. So the artist, it was actually a Ludacris concert. that Ludacris concert, because you know it got sold out. It did not get sold out. It was in Hawaii when I used to live in Hawaii, and so for the Ludacris concert, like we were sitting actually up in upper level, and like Ludacris was just like, yo, there's like barely any people here, just everyone just come down, let's just have a big party in the pit, like no worries, like let's like not worry about seats and stuff. So that's exactly what we did, which was awesome. And actually that was my first concert ever, so that was exciting. So honestly, like I feel like with B.A.P they could have kind of done that. They could have at least like brought like the third tier down to like the second tier, or like some of the second tier, because there was even like spaces, like there was even some seats in the back of the orchestra that like could have been filled, like not a lot but some. And I was just like, not like sad, but like, or I shouldn't say not disappointed, but kind of just sad. Like I was like, oh, why are B.A.P more loved? Why are more people like showing them love and support? Like why are people going to their concerts and stuff? Like it really like frustrated me in that moment of just like being like, oh. Like I mean I could barely afford to go to this concert after the BTS concert. Honestly, like this was really just poor timing on B.A.P's part, but I managed to do it because I was like so excited and I knew I had to see it, which I think is another reason I was kind of disappointed. Because I feel like I got really hyped up for this concert. Like people have been telling me that B.A.P is amazing live. B.A.P's had the best concert. And from some of the videos I've seen online that you guys have told me to watch and other stuff like that, I was like, oh, you guys are so right. Like this shit is ridiculous. I need to see this live. But they didn't really do much of it live. Or at least at this concert. So it was kind of like, okay, like they are good. They're definitely one of the best K-pops out there. They're definitely one of my favorite K-pop groups, but it didn't live up to that kind of like hype level, like what a lot of people were telling me. And honestly, part of me thinks, especially because I kept talking about how their conditions weren't great, because you know they just got to the U.S. literally like yesterday, I think. Yesterday or the day before, they like just got to the U.S. and so they didn't have a lot of time to rest. Yeah, it kind of felt like I don't want to say it feels like they were being overworked again, but it just felt like they couldn't give their 100% or their all in this performance because they were, you know, tired and jet lagged and everything. So it was kind of frustrating. I'm not frustrated at B.A.P, but it's just like, oh man, like if only this hadn't been their first stop, like maybe the performances would have been better or the experience would have been better. But it was their first stop, and I just honestly, like I said, I think honestly I'm more opposed to like their performance, I'm more disappointed that the venue was so empty. It's just after being in that full like BTS stadium, it was just like really uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable. That's not a good word. It was just like really disheartening to see the stadium this arena, which was like a small arena that was like half the size, or theater that was like half the size of the arena I was in last week, and they were like, it wasn't even filled. Like if at least it was filled, it would feel like, okay. It wasn't even filled. And that was another reason that I was like, okay, well, in the beginning I was like, okay, well, because it's not very filled, maybe they definitely will like try to have more fan interaction and like come around the seats. They did not. That did not happen. And when I realized, like towards the end of the concert, when I realized that was not happening, I was getting like pissed off. Not pissed off, I was just kind of like, really? Like, not only did you not do that, but you also didn't perform a lot of the songs I thought you were going to perform. Like, they didn't perform a lot of the songs from Noir. Fermata, Skydive, and I Guess I Need You, I think are the only ones they did. When Ribbon in the Sky, Killer, those were like two of my favorites. It was the one with Cookie and Zelo, the rap line one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But like, there are so many fucking good songs in Noir that they did not perform at all. Chiquita. But anyway. So they didn't perform like a bunch of songs from Noir, and then they only performed Wake Me Up from Rose, so they didn't do Dystopia or Diamond for you. And I'm just like, not only did you not come into the aisle so I could at least like see you and touch you and feel you up close, but you didn't even perform half the songs that I really know by you. I mean, they did songs I knew, obviously, but like a lot of the ones I know are the recent ones, and then the rest are just, I don't know, I was just frustrated. I was like, there's so much more y'all could have done with this concert, but you didn't. And I don't know if it was because of the party theme, so they're trying to make it more of a party vibe, but it left me wanting more. Not necessarily in a good way. Oh, something I was going to say. I have to acknowledge that Daehyun is a fucking pro. Daehyun's a fucking pro, guys. I don't know if you know this, but Daehyun's a fucking pro. I have no idea what song it was. I could not tell you. But during the beginning of the concert, they performed a song that Daehyun usually does a pretty long high note on. I seriously can't remember what it was. It might have been No Mercy. But he didn't do the note, and I was kind of like for a second, I was like, why didn't he do the note? Like, I mean, he did like a shortened, like, lower version of it, and I was like, why didn't he get that done? So I was like, maybe he's not feeling well, oh my gosh. But then, obviously, through the rest of the concert, he hit more and more and more notes, and I realized he was, like, you know, saving his voice in the beginning. And I was like, he's a fucking pro. He is legit a fucking pro. Like, that is what a professional would do. So, especially because, like, the No Mercy song was, I think, just, like, a mix slash, like, mashup. Like, it wasn't, like, the full song. So, like, he was like, there's no need for him to go there for that. And I've seen, you know, like, and especially, like, you know, with the younger singers and stuff, like, you'll see them do stuff like that that's, like, so unnecessary. They hit notes they don't need to be hitting, and then, like, later in the performance, they fuck up. But Daehyun's a pro, and he knows his voice, and he knows what he can and can't do, and he just handled that situation and handled the whole concert with his notes. Like, just, oh my god, I was blessed. I was literally blessed by Daehyun's voice. Like, I think I could probably, like, heal the sick now because Daehyun has blessed me with his voice. But I really enjoyed the concert. I really, really did. I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I would definitely go to their next concert they have in the States. I almost wish I could go to another one at a different stop, but obviously I don't want to go. I think the Live on Earth tour, though, was a bigger tour. Like, I think that one was, like, planned to be a bigger tour, whereas, like, this one did kind of feel kind of, like, not last minute, but kind of just, like, it feels like a smaller tour. But I think just because I was so excited because of all the stuff I heard about from Live on Earth, and they had all these new songs out, and just there was just so much potential for this concert that I really hyped for it, and like none of it happened. None of what I was hyped for really happened. Comparing my two K-pop experiences for the past 2 weeks, BTS and B.A.P, honestly, I thought about it earlier, it's really not fair to compare them. It's really like comparing apples and oranges. Not only because BTS is kind of a little more popular, but their scale was just different. They were on such a large scale. It was like arena touring. I feel like their concert was geared more to their performances, and therefore it was very like heavy performance heavy, and like track after track after track. And they performed a lot of tracks, and they performed honestly most of the tracks. First of all, they performed every single Wings track. The only like even from the supplementary story, the only song they didn't do was You Never Walk Alone, which honestly I was a little upset about that. But like they did pretty much every song on that album, including the intro. So it's like, and they did other songs, and they did like, you know, all the hits. So it was like with that, it's like BTS fulfilled my fantasies, and like I got to see like my dreams come true with BTS. But you know, they didn't really do any like fan interactions. It was like they had a couple ments, and that was it. Whereas B.A.P tried, I think, a little harder to be more intimate with the fans and have that. So that's why it's like hard to compare, because it was such a smaller venue and such a smaller audience. Like it's hard to compare those two events. But like I honestly, I think again why I was a little disappointed is like I was honestly hoping that B.A.P's performances and the concert itself live, like everything live, would be like so good that it wouldn't matter that it was a smaller venue. Like it would just like blow, you know, BTS's concert out of the water. But it didn't really, and I think it's, you know, because like I was saying before, it just didn't reach that level that I was expecting from B.A.P. But like I said, I'll say it 1,000 times, I did enjoy it, and I would definitely go again. And I would even try to get better seats, because I feel like even though like I was still in the orchestra, I was like not in the P1 section, which is where the high touch was. Which honestly I'm a little bitter about, because if I had gotten at least the high touch out of this, I think I would have felt better. Because like before I was like, oh, I don't think I can handle high touch, because you know these boys would kill me. But now after being a little disappointed, I hate saying disappointed, but being a little like let down from the concert experience, a high touch would have at least made up for that. So yeah, I guess I'll end by saying I can't really compare the two concerts, BTS and B.A.P. They're just different experiences. I honestly hope B.A.P. comes back with a bigger concert. Like I hope more people want to come. Honestly, here's my thing. I think K-pop concerts have been happening or tend to happen more in the spring here in America. But y'all gotta understand, especially on a weekday, most people can't be going to concerts in like April and May. Like, they got school, they got work. Y'all need to come back in the summer. People are more free. And don't be coming on a Wednesday. Come on the weekend. I bet you, honestly, I bet you that's the real reason a lot of people don't come. It's on a fucking Wednesday. I had another also weird experience on the way back from the concert. I got an elevator up to my room, and this woman was on the phone, but she was also had like a glass of wine in her hand, and she saw me coming. She's like, "Hey girl, what you doing? You going to like a hair show?" And I was just, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, "Oh no," I was actually getting back from a concert. And she was like, "Oh, what concert? I know all those kids these days. You can tell me," because I was just like, "Oh, it's K-pop, like, you know, you probably won't know." And she's like, "Oh no, I probably know." And I was like, B.A.P. She's like, "Oh, I never heard of them. You have to play a song for me." And I was just like, and then, but then, so like, I mean, it was nice. It wasn't weird. But then, like, you know, we're like in the elevator going up, and like she's talking. Like I said, she's on the phone. She was talking to me even though she was on the phone. And I hear her talk to someone on the phone, and she's like, "You can't be talking to other girls if you're at the bar, or if you're on the phone with me at the bar. Like, if you're at the bar and some girl tries to talk to you, or you're on the phone with me, you need to just be talking to me. You don't need to let these other girls hit on you." And I was just like, "So, is your boyfriend at the bar right now and getting hit on, and you're telling him over the phone not to let people do that?" Like, I was just like so confused. I was just like, "Oh man," and then I just got off the elevator. I was like, "Good night," and yeah, it was just interesting. But anyway, I kind of want to end this video. I'm getting super tired. My eyes are getting heavy, and I still have my contacts in. Honestly, next time, hopefully, I'll have my Matoki, so I'll be a little happier in that sense. And next time, I think maybe they'll have like a bigger concert experience, and I'm hoping Atlanta won't be their first stop, because then hopefully they'll have like rested well and be more well adjusted to America. Because I mean, I will say I did see some mistakes. Like, B.A.P made a couple mistakes in the choreo. I think Dan might have dropped his mic at one point. I don't know if it was on purpose or not. Like, it looked kind of on purpose. It could have totally been an accident. Cookie missed his cue one time too, yeah. But anyway, so like there's just like several things I was just like, but they did like in their ending ments, they did like kind of be like, you know, even though we're in a terrible, I don't feel like I'm in a good condition today. A lot of them said like, you know, even though I don't feel like I'm in a good condition today, I'm happy because I got to be with you guys and I got to perform for you guys, and you guys gave us a lot of energy. So that was nice of them to say that, but it was still kind of like, y'all need some rest. Y'all need to go sleep, go to bed, some rest. I don't know if y'all staying in my hotel or not, but if you are, I'll make sure everyone shuts the fuck up so y'all can go to bed. I think honestly, because this experience wasn't the best, makes me feel more determined to go to future B.A.P concerts and experience that, you know, thing that everyone talks about with B.A.P concerts. So I feel like instead of like this ruining B.A.P for me and like being like, "Oh, I'm never gonna see them in concert again," this is making me like more determined to see them in concerts so I can get that experience. I really hope next time I come up for a concert or decide to go to a concert by myself, because I don't have a problem going by myself. I just hope next time I do at least know somebody there, because then at least I could like talk to them before or after the concert. Because like the girl sitting next to who I did kind of talk to, she had somebody that she was with. They just weren't sitting together. So I'm hoping for at least that. Alright guys, I'm done. I'm seriously like so tired. I can feel my contacts slipping out of my eyes. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Come below and answer when you watch. Anything else? I'm just used to saying it like that. You can comment below anything you want me to watch. You can send me B.A.P stuff. I know I've seen a lot of it, but I'm always down to watch more. They are still one of my top groups. You know, BTS will always be my ultimate bias, just because of what they meant to me for like so long. So long. I haven't been that long with K-pop fans. But since the beginning, they've meant a lot to me. But B.A.P is kind of slowly becoming that for me too, because they mean a lot to me too. I don't think they'll ever take the ultimate bias spot, but they're definitely up there. And then B2B and Monster X are far behind them. But in general, I just love K-pop, and it really just does like kind of make me feel better. So yeah. So I guess I will talk to you guys / see you guys / what? I'm seriously so tired. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Night. Annyeong.